Pause for a second and ask yourself this honestly. Why does your life feel heavy, even when you're doing everything right? You wake up early, you handle your responsibilities, you try to stay disciplined, focused, and yet there's something inside you, a weight you can't quite explain. If you've ever felt this, you're not alone, because most people aren't tired from what they do. They're exhausted from what they carry. Here's what no one tells you. You've been accumulating your entire life, not just objects, but expectations, opinions, voices, invisible rules about who you should be, ways of thinking that were never truly yours, but you inherited them and never questioned them. And over time, you became someone built from layers you didn't consciously choose. So today, I want to guide you through something different, not adding more to your life, but removing. Because sometimes the greatest transformation doesn't come from becoming more. It comes from letting go of what you were never meant to carry. What if I told you you could step away from your current identity for just a moment, clean everything inside you, and come back as someone unrecognizable? Not because you changed who you are, but because you finally became who you were meant to be. Let's begin. 1. Let go of your old identity. There's a version of you that everyone expects you to be. You've always been shy. You're not good with money. You never finish what you start. At some point, you heard these things so many times that they stopped sounding like opinions and started feeling like truth. But here's something subtle and powerful. Most of these labels were never about you. They were projections, fragments of other people's fears, limitations, and insecurities placed onto you, and you accepted them. The real weight you feel often comes from trying to live as a version of yourself that no longer fits. You're not stuck, you're outdated, and the moment you question that identity, something begins to break, something begins to open. 2. Release the illusion of control. This one is deeper than it looks. There's a difference between planning your life and trying to control it. Planning creates direction. Control creates tension. When you try to control everything, how people respond, how situations unfold, how the future should look, you stop living. You start managing reality like a script, but life doesn't follow scripts. It flows, it adapts, it surprises, it rearranges. And here's the truth most people resist. You control your actions, not your outcomes. The moment you truly understand this, something inside you relaxes. You stop forcing results and start experiencing the process. And paradoxically, that's when things begin to work. 3. Eliminate digital noise. We live in a time where information is endless, and yet clarity is rare. You wake up, and before your mind even wakes up, you're already consuming opinions, news, comparisons, pressure. It feels like knowledge, but it's overload. Because it's not just information you're absorbing, it's emotional energy, anxiety, fear, envy, urgency, and slowly, you lose something essential, your own voice. You stop thinking and start echoing. Silence becomes your greatest power, because only in silence, you can hear what is truly yours. 4. Stop comparing your life. Comparison is one of the most silent forms of self-destruction. Because no matter how far you go, there will always be someone who seems further. But here's the illusion. You're comparing your full reality to someone else's highlight and losing every time. Comparison steals something priceless, your ability to feel your own progress, your own journey, your own growth. The only real question is, are you evolving compared to who you were before? If yes, you're already winning. 5. Let go of urgency. Most people are not patient enough to build something real. They want results fast, immediate transformation, instant success. But life doesn't work like that, because anything built quickly can disappear just as fast. There's a difference between conquering and building. Conquest is fast, construction is lasting, and everything meaningful in your life, your relationships, your health, your success, is built slowly, quietly, consistently. When you stop rushing, you go deeper, and depth creates permanence. 6. Release the fear of judgment. Let me tell you something liberating. Most people are not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves, their fears, their insecurities, their own lives. And when someone judges you, it usually says more about them than about you, because judgment is often a projection. The real question is, why does it affect you? Because when something triggers you, it reveals something unresolved inside you. Heal that, and no opinion can shake you again. 7. Stop explaining yourself. You don't need a long justification to live your life. A simple no is enough. But most people feel the need to explain, because deep down, they don't trust their own decisions. And the more you explain, the more you open space for others to question you. Clarity is power. You don't need permission to choose your own path. 8. Change your relationship with your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Read that again. You are not your thoughts. Your mind produces ideas constantly. Some useful, some distorted, some inherited. The problem is not thinking something negative. The problem is believing it. A thought is just a signal, a pattern, sometimes an echo from the past. When you stop fighting your thoughts and start observing them, they lose power, not because you defeated them, but because you stopped feeding them. 9. Break self-destructive patterns. Not all self-sabotage is obvious. Sometimes it looks like scrolling instead of acting, saying yes when you mean no, choosing comfort over growth. And behind most of these patterns, there's something deeper, a hidden belief that you don't deserve what you're building. So every time you get close, you pull yourself back, because the familiar feels safer than the unknown, even if the familiar hurts. 10. Learn how to receive. This might be the most important one, because many people know how to give, but don't know how to receive. A compliment makes them uncomfortable. Help feels like weakness. Opportunities feel undeserved. But here's the truth. If you can't receive small things, you won't be able to receive big ones. Not money, not love, not abundance. Receiving is an act of worthiness. It's saying, I accept what life is offering me, without guilt, without resistance. And when you truly learn to receive, something shifts. You move from scarcity to flow. Take a deep breath. Let this settle. None of these patterns define you. They are not who you are. They are just layers, accumulated over time. And what was accumulated can be released, slowly, consciously. So don't try to change everything today. Just start with one, the one that made you feel something while listening to this, because that is where your transformation begins. And if this message found you at the right moment, then it's not by accident. Now tell me, what is one thing you know you need to let go of? Write it down, because awareness is always the first step to freedom.